This is sort of one of my favorite Ghostbusters movies. Ghostbusters 2, a 1989 supernatural comedy film directed by Ivan Reitman, written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis. Film stars Bill Murray, Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Ramis, Rick Moranis, Ernie Hudson, and Annie Potts, as we already know. It's a sequel to the 1984 movie Ghostbusters, second film Ghostbusters franchise. Set 5 years after the first film, the Ghostbusters had been sued and put out of business after the destruction caused during the battle into the Gozer the Gozerian. When a new paranormal threat emerges, the Ghostbusters reunite to combat it and save the world. And apparently, as with the first film, Aykroyd and Ramis overcome objection. Oh no, wait, not that one. They collaborated on a script which went through many variations, paired ones and convey a message about the consequences of negative human emotions or settled on the idea of negative feelings, creating a mass of supernatural slime beneath New York City that empowers malevolent spirits. It was released June 16th, 1989, generating negative reviews. Critics responded unfavorably to what they perceived as largely a copy of the original and a softening of its cynical, dark humor to be more family-friendly. I think after the show came out, the animated one. Although the performances of Peter McNicol, who was in the Mr. Bean movie with Rowan Atkinson, and Rick Moranis were repeatedly singled out for praise. The one thing I had a problem with this movie is that it didn't really feel scary enough. Like the first film, it was sort of scary, but it didn't have the same vibes in it. And also, want to know one thing? They cut out all the jokes that they had for, the first film, the jokes they have. They cut out the dark humor to make it more family friendly. They put smoking out of the movie, and I was like, well, okay, that's not really a Ghostbusters movie. Columbia Pictures deemed a failure, the second movie, effectively dissuading Murray from participating in the third Ghostbusters film. But the song for the film, On Our Own by Bobby Brown, got positive reviews. Cheech Marin plays the dock supervisor. He's in Cheech and Chong. Philip Baker Hall portrays the city police chief. Bobby Brown, who contributed to the film soundtrack, came as a doorman. Brian Doyle Murray, who's Murray's brother, plays the Ghostbusters psychiatric doctor. And Ivan Reitman's children, Jason and Catherine, portray respectively the rude child at the opening birthday party and a girl that is part of Egon's experiment. And we got Vigo the Carpathian in this. I loved Vigo. He's still one of my favorite villains, but I remember when I first watched it, my gosh, I got scared watching it. I was like, holy shit. Eugene Levy was cast as Lewis's cousin Sherman and played psychiatric while Ghostbusters in prison. The character was instrumental in liberation as scenes were cut. There is deleted scenes, and if you search up Ghostbusters 1 or Ghostbusters 2 deleted scenes, you would see the scenes that were cut. And you would see Eugene in it. And he was pretty good. I wish he was in it. It would have been cool. But yeah. Oh, the song On Our Own. The music video features appearances by Jane Curtin, Christopher Reeve, and Marky and Joey Ramone. But yeah, a lot of people didn't like this movie. I sort of like this, but I'm more mixed on it. I didn't really like this movie because, like I said, I sort of do, but sort of didn't. Oh, and I just found this. Discussion about a sequel took place during filming Ghostbusters 2. Ramis was dismissed because the actor's age is difficulty in getting cast together. And they tried to make a third one for years. But the video game, that sort of feels like a third movie for me. Aykroyd continued attempts to develop a film sequel throughout the 90s to the early 2010s. By 1999, he had completed a 122-page concept for a sequel called Ghostbusters 3 Hellbent. I think the script is somewhere on the internet, which would add several new characters and take them to Manhattan, a demonic version of Manhattan, where they would encounter the demon Lucifer. Oh, I thought it was Satan, but never mind. But anyways, I heard about it. I think the script's on the internet, like I mentioned. I read it, and I thought to myself, like, my gosh, is this what the film was gonna be like? Because holy shit. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I will say, if they made Ghostbusters 3, the movie would be batshit crazy. And I know someone's gonna say, what do you mean by batshit crazy? All I can say is, there were so many dark humor jokes. Well, dark humor. There were so many dark jokes. So much like, it was gonna be scary like Ghostbusters 1, but sort of one-upping it in a way. There was gonna be so much stuff in it, and I was like thinking, holy shit, this movie got released. God damn, Ghostbusters franchise would have changed. In a way. It wasn't gonna be if you feel like, oh, let me guess, it's gonna be rated R. No, like, more like it'd still be PG-13, but it would. How do I say it? It would be if Ghostbusters 2 was good, but it was in the vibes of Ghostbusters 1 and 2 mixed together. That's how scary it was sort of gonna be. But yeah, I wish it got made, but and apparently there was gonna be a lot of stuff changed about Manhattan, the demon version of Manhattan. Apparently, if I read it correctly, apparently there was gonna be zombies as taxi drivers, swearing at each other in different languages. People hated each other. There was gonna be like obviously red everywhere. If the movie, I'm just gonna say this again for the final time before I go. If the movie was made, I feel like it would have changed the entire franchise as a whole. You know, we still would have probably got Afterlife, Frozen Empire, but imagine the characters of Frozen Empire. Like, oh my gosh, the new characters. I don't know if they would be in Afterlife, Frozen Empire if the third movie got made, but if they didn't, I imagine like in Frozen Empire Afterlife, the OG characters say, "Did you know we went to hell back then?" And like the characters would be like the new generation, like McKenna Grace and Finn Wolfhard would be like, "What?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, we went to hell and we fought demons and stuff." But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.